Hi guys, this is Mohan and welcome to Java string session. In this session we are going to discuss what is string, different ways to create the strings, string immutability, importance of string constant pool, why string is immutable, equals versus equals, intern method, string concatenation, split method, string tokenizer class, toString method, and all other important methods present in string. Let us see the definition of the string. String is group of characters and it is immutable object in Java. Guys, we will discuss a little bit later what is immutability. But as of now, string is a group of characters. There are two different ways to create the string. One is using new keyword, another one is using string literals. Guys, let me introduce one more before this. What is string constant pool? Say generally whenever you are creating the object by using new keyword, the object will be created in heap memory, correct? And there is a separate memory inside of heap memory where the string objects will go and sit when you are creating using literals. Let me repeat guys. String constant pool is a sub part of the heap memory. It is reserved only for strings. It is something like this. This is my heap memory. Inside we have a separate part which is reserved only for strings. That is called string constant pool. Okay guys, this is the first way of creating the string, that is string s1 is equal to new string of abc. So what will happen when I say string s1 is equal to new string of abc? How many objects it will create? Guys, it will create two objects. See this? One in heap memory, another one is in string constant pool. But S1, the reference will point to the object which is created in string constant, heap memory. Guys, when you are trying to create string S1 is equal to new string of ABC, it will create two objects, one in heap memory, another one in string constant pool. But S1 will point to the object which is created in heap memory. And second way is string s2 is equal to abc. I am not using new keyword but I am using literals. Guys, whenever you are trying to create the object using literals, it will check whether this object is present in string constant pool or not. If not present, it will create the new object. If it is present, it will point to the same object. Since we don't have any object with abc, it is creating the object in string constant pool. Guys, let me repeat once again. There are two ways to create the string, one using new keyword, another one using literals. So whenever you are creating the string object using new keyword, two objects will be created. One is in heap memory, another one is in string constant pool, and the reference will point to the object which is present in heap memory. And whenever you are trying to create the object using literals, it will check whether the object is present with this content. If not present, it will create a new object. If it is present, then it will point to the same object. Guys, let us see equals versus equals. These two are the two different methods present in string class. The first one, equals, will compare the content of the object, and equals will compare the reference or address of the objects. This is my heap memory, this is my string constant pool. Now I am going to create string using new keyword. String s1 is equal to new string of abc. It will create two objects, one in heap memory, another one in string constant pool. But the reference will point to the object which got created in heap memory. Second one, I'm trying to create the object with same content, that is string s2 is equal to new string of abc. Then already there is an object here. It will not create the object here, but it will create a new object in heap memory. Guys, whenever you are using the new keyword to create the string, it will not check whether the object is present in heap memory or not. It will just go ahead and create the object. But now I will show you how this will work with literals. When we say string s3 is equal to abc, it will check whether the object is present with this content or not. In this case, yes, the object is present. It will not create the new object. The reference will point to the existing object. And when I say string s4 is equal to abc, again it will go and check whether the object is present with this content or not. Since it is present, it will not create the new object. Even s4 also will point to the same object. Now I'm trying to compare system.out.println of s1 dot equals of s2. What this equals method does is, this method will compare the content of s1 and s2. If both are equal, it will return true. If both are not equal, it will return false. Guys, in this case, s1 is equal to abc and s2 is also abc. So contents are same. So it will return true. Next, I am going to compare the references of both the objects. S1 equal to S2. See guys, S1 is this object, S2 is this object. So these two are two different objects. Correct? So both the objects has their own addresses. So when you say system.out.println of S1 equal to S2, it will return false. And system.out.println of s3 dot equals of s4. What is s3? abc. What is s4? abc. So contents are same, it will return true. Now I am trying to compare system.out.println of s3 equals s4. Guys, s3 is pointing to this object and s4 is also pointing to the same object, which means both will hold the address of this object. So when you say SOP of S3 equal to S4, it will return true. Guys, let me repeat once again. So whenever you are trying to create the string object using new keyword, it will create two objects, one in string constant pool, another one is in heap memory. And S1 will point to the object which got created in heap memory. So when you are trying to create another object with same content, yes, it will create the new object in heap memory. It will not check whether the object is present with this content in heap memory or not. It will just go ahead and create the object. But see, when I am trying to create the object using literals, it will check whether the object is present or not. If object present, it will not create the object, it will point to the existing object. And again I am trying to create another object S4 with ABC. This time also it will point to the same object because object is already present. Now when you compare S1 dot equals S2, because the contents are same, ABC, it will return true. But when you are comparing the address of the objects, since both are two different objects, it will return false. And S3 dot equals of S4, when we are comparing the content of the objects S3, S4 both are same, it will return true when you are comparing address of the objects, even both are same, because S3 S4 pointing to the same object, so both will hold the same object address, so it will return true. Let me show you the demo, guys. This is what I am explaining you guys so far. String S1 is equal to ABC, string S2 is equal to ABC. Then I am trying to execute this. Okay, see, first one true, that is S1 dot equals of S2, but S1 equal to S2 is false, but S3 dot equals S4 true, and S3 equals S4 also true. Okay, let us move on to next topic, that is comparison methods. What are those comparison methods? Equals ignore case, compare to ignore case. Let me explain you guys. Okay, string S1 is equal to string S3 is equal to small letters. I'm going to you guys. Here capital, here also I'm going to use capital. So string S1 is equal capital Mohan, string S2 is equal to capital Mohan, string S3 is equal to small Mohan. Sys out S1 dot equals of S2. So definitely what it will return, it will compare S1 and S2. If both are equal, then it will return true. If both are not equal, then it will return false. Guys, in this case both are capital Mohans, so it will return true. Next one, S1 dot equals of S3. Let us see guys what it will return. See, false. Why? Because S1 is capital Mohan, S3 is small Mohan. Now I don't want this, because why it is written, why it is printing like this is Java default is case sensitive, which means for Java small a is different from capital A, small m is different from capital M. So that's why it is returning false in this case. If you don't want that, just what I want is, I want my JVM to ignore case. I want my JVM to treat capital A and small a in same way. Now let us see the second method guys. See, returning true. Why? This method is ignoring the case sensitivity. For this method, small m and capital M both are same. Okay, let us look at the other methods. Compare to. Guys, compare to method will compare the two strings If they are equal, it will return 0. If S1 is first operand is greater than second one, it will return positive, or else if first one is less than second one, it will return negative number. Just let me show you guys. Compare to. First we will see the compare to. Compare to S1 compare to of S2. So in this case both are equal, it should return 0. Then S1 we are comparing with S3, both are not equal, and it should return negative number because small letter has more Unicode value than cap. This. Let me define another string as string S4 is equal to S1 dot compare to S1 dot compare to S4 dot compare to of S1. Let me execute this one, guys. See, first case S1 dot S1, we are comparing S1 and S2. So since both are equal, it is returning 0. In this case S1 dot compare to of S3. So this is bigger than that, so it is returning negative value. And S4 dot compare to S1, this is bigger than this, it is returning positive numbers. This is how the compare method will work, guys. Now I don't want case sensitivity. I want to ignore the case sensitivity, which means I want my method to ignore I want my method to treat capital and small a in same way. So for compare to ignore case, both capital and small a's are equal. See guys here. So why is this? First one S1 dot compare to of ignore case S1 and S2, but of course both are equal. Second one S1 S3. S1 is small Mohan, S1 is capital Mohan, S1 is small Mohan, but compare to ignore case will ignore the case sensitivity. That's why it is 0. Let's move on next. The importance of string constant pool. Guys, this is a very important question. Why strings are creating in string constant pool? Why they define the string constant pool? Let us see guys with example. I am trying to create string S1 is equal to Sachin. It will create one string object in string constant pool with content Sachin, and S1 will point to Sachin because string doesn't exist here. Next time when you try to create string S2 is equal to Sachin, since object is already present, it will not create the new object. S2 also will point to the same object. Next one, when I am trying to create the third object with content Sachin, again it will check, since object is already present, it will not create the object, it will point to the same object. String S4 is equal to Sachin. S4 will point to the same object. String S5 is equal to Sachin. S5 is also pointing to the same object. What did you understand here? See, when you are trying to create 5 objects, your JVM will not create 5 different objects with same content, and it will create one object and all the references will point to the same object. So it is for good memory management. What is the importance of string constant pool is to have a good memory management. Here your JVM will never ever create the different objects for different requests. It will only create one object for all the requests, and all the references will point to the same object. So in one word answer is, what is the importance of string constant pool is to have good memory management. So instead of this, if your JVM is creating different objects for each request, then it is unnecessarily waste of memory, right? Okay, let's move on next. Why strings are immutable? This is two good questions, guys, for interviews. Let us see the previous example. When I say string s1 is equal to Sachin, it will create the object with content Sachin in string constant pool, and s1 will point to that object. String s2 is equal to Sachin, it will point to the same object. String s3 is equal to Sachin, it will point to the same object. String s4 is equal to Sachin, it will point to the same object. And string s5 is equal to Sachin, it will point to the same object. Guys, when you are trying to create, let us say 5 different people are working for one project, and one guy is creating objects Sachin, that is string s1 is equal to Sachin, then object will be created in string constant pool, then s1 will point to that object. And when other people are trying to create the objects with same content, it will not create the different objects for each request. All references s2, s3, s4, s5 will point to the same object. Assume that strings are mutable, means you can modify the content of the object after creating. Let me repeat, guys. Let us assume that strings are mutable, means modifiable, which means after creating the object also we can modify the object. After creating the string object also we can modify it. If that is the case, after all I am going to change s1 is equal to Dhoni. Then what will happen? S1 is going to point to Dhoni. Then what about S2, S3, S4, S5? All will point to Dhoni, right? This is the reason why strings are immutable. If strings are mutable, then if one guy changes through one of the reference, it will impact all the objects. That's why they made the strings are immutable. Let us see, guys, string immutability test. Guys, this is my heap memory and this is my string constant for. Now I am going to create string s1 is equal to Sachin. I am going to create the object using literals. So it will check whether the object is present in string constant pool with this content or not. Since in this case it is not present, it will create Sachin and s1 will point to Sachin. Now what will happen when I say s1 is equal to s1 plus Tendulkar? I am trying to add something, I am trying to concatenate something to existing object. Guys, when you say s1 plus Tendulkar means Sachin, it will create the Sachin Tendulkar. It is not going to add Tendulkar to the existing, and s1 will stop pointing to this and start pointing to this. Let me repeat once again, guys. When you trying to create the object with content as such in, that is string s1 is equal to such in, object will be created in string constant pool. S1 will point to this. When you say s1 is equal to s1 plus Tendulkar, it will Tendulkar will not be added to the such in. Instead of that, it will take Sachin plus Tendulkar, it will create the new object, and S1 will point to this. Guys, how to prove this? Just guys pause the screen and try to analyze and compare with my analysis. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to print the address of object after creating Sachin. What I'm trying to prove here is Sachin and Sachin Tendulkar both are two different objects, not single object, which means whenever trying to add something to the string, it will not going to append to that. Instead of that, it will create a new object. So how can I prove that is after creating string s1 is equal to Sachin, I will print the address of this object. After adding s1 is equal to s1 plus Tendulkar, again I will try to print the address of this object. Then if both are not equal, then I can say strings are immutable. If both are equal, then strings are mutable. That's what I'm going to do, guys. I'm going to call the hash code method after creating Sachin. Then again I'm going to call hash code method on s1 after concatenating Tendulkar. Let me show you guys how that will work. This is what we are discussing, guys. String s1 is equal to Sachin. Then I'm printing s1 dot hash code. Then I'm concatenating Tendulkar. Again I'm printing s1 dot hash code. So let me execute, guys. So it is printing two different objects, which means this object and this objects both are different, which means whenever you are trying to add something to existing object, it will create the new object. It will not be added to the existing objects. So this is the way to prove that strings are immutable. Next one, string concatenation. Guys, there are two ways for concatenating the strings. One, there is a method called concat. Another one is you can use the plus operator. Heap memory, this is my string constant pool. So two methods, one concat method, another one is plus operator. So when you say string s1 is equal to Sachin, it will create one object in string constant pool and s1 will point to that. And when we say s1 is equal to s1 dot concat of Tendulkar or s1 is equal to s1 plus Tendulkar, then it will create the new object and s1 will stop pointing to Sachin and start pointing to Tendulkar. This is string concatenation, guys. Then when we try to print, it will print Sachin Tendulkar. Guys, this is one of the very important methods of string class, intern method. Let me take heap memory and then my string constant pool. Now I'm creating object string s1 is equal to new string of abc. As we already know that it will create two objects, one in string constant pool, another one in heap memory, and s1 will point to the object which is present in heap memory. Now when I'm trying to create string s2 is equal to abc using literals, already object is present in string constant pool, correct? So it will not create the new object and s2 will point to this object. Guys, if I print now system.out.println of s1 equals to s2. What it will return? S1 is one object, it is pointing to this, S2 is pointing to this, which means both S1 and S2 are two different objects, means they are pointing to two different objects. Then when I say system.out.println S1 equals S2, it will return false. But if you call S1 is equal to S1 dot intern, S1 is equal to S1 dot intern, then it will stop pointing to this and it will start pointing to the object which is present in string constant pool. See guys, it is stop pointing to this, then it will start pointing to the object which is present in string constant pool. Now you print SOP of S1 equal to S2, it will return true. Let me show you the demo guys. This is what we are discussing. Two objects. After creating, it will return false. After you call s1 is equal s1 dot intern, this will stop pointing the object which is present in heap memory, and it will start pointing the object which is present in string constant pool. Let me execute this one. First one is returning false, second one is returning true. Let us see the other important methods guys. Char add of index returns char value for the particular index. Guys, you call this method on the string and provide the index, and that will return the object, that will return the character which is present at that particular index. Now let me call this s1 dot char add. I'm going to provide number 2. Guys, when you are trying to create the object string s1 is equal to Mohan, let me change this. I'm from India. So what will happen is, it will start just like your array, it will start from 0th index and it will going add on 1 at the 1 index. I mean I at 0th index, space at first index, a at second index. So when I'm trying to print this, I'm trying to call the char at second. What it will return? A, because this is 0, 1 and 2. So at second index I have a, so it will return a. So let me repeat guys. Char add method will work like this. You provide the index, it will return the character present at that index. Guys, I'm going to provide 29. Definitely my string is not that much of lengthy string. Then what it will return now? Basically you are asking JVM, JVM return the character present at 29th index which is not here. So it will return exception. What is that exception? Is string index out of bounds exception. Let me show you guys. String index out of bounds exception. So what it is returning? Why it is returning? Index out of bound range. Index string index out of range. So your string doesn't has these many characters. You are requesting out of the range. That's why it is throwing string index out of bounds exception. What is the next one? Length. Guys, length method will return the number of characters present in string class. See, 15 characters present in my string. Guys, it will take the spaces in between. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. This is the length of the string. We will go to next one. Substring. Return substring of given begin index. You are going to provide the begin index, from there to end it will return. Guys, substring has overloaded methods also, wherein you can provide the end, start and end indexes. Return the substring of given begin index and end index, which means substring has two different methods, guys. One is in first case, what we are going to do is we are going to provide the start index. From second index, from this to end it will return. In second case, guys, I'm writing here 7. So for one substring method I'm providing just starting index. How this will work is it will return the string from second index to until the end, whatever the end. But here in this case I'm providing two integers. One is start index, another one is end index, which means it will return the string from 2, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, n minus 1. Guys, here the first digit is inclusive and last digit is exclusive, which means when I say s1 dot substring of 2 comma 7, it will return the string from second to 6. Let me execute this. This is the one, guys. From second to end, it is from. What are all the other methods? Contains, char sequence. Guys, this method will be like such. When you provide the character, it will check whether the character is present here or not. If present, it will return true. If not present, it will return false. Let me show you guys. Contains, I'm providing guys, I'm trying to print s1 dot contains of from. I'm providing substring. I'm searching here. So this s1 contains from, right? So it should return true. So it returned true. I'll search something which is not present here. Maybe search in. Let me run this program. False, because this substring is not present here. What else guys? Content is empty. Is empty will check the string if the string is empty or not. If empty, it will return true. If it has something, it will return false. Here is empty. I have string guys with value I am from India, so definitely it will return false. False. Suppose I am removing it. Then I am executing this. It is returning true. Why? Because I have empty string. Let me repeat guys. Is empty method will check the string is empty or not. If it is empty, it will return true, or otherwise it will return false. Next, other important methods: replace old character and new characters. Replaces all occurrences of the specified character value. Let me check guys. I'm going to define one more string s2 is equal s1 dot replace old characters a and with b. Now I will print s1. So before changing also let me print it so that I can. Guys, how many A's are there? 1 and 2. Okay, let me run this code. Oh, sorry. Yes, 2. See guys, A is replaced with B here and here. That's how this replace will work. It will replace the old character with the new characters. Next one, index of. You provide guys, if you remember, this is just opposite to caret. For caret method, you are providing the index, your method will return the character which is present at that index. But here you are providing the character and this method will return the index of that particular character. And this is overloaded method. I will explain it this one as well. This one is index of A. Guys, I am calling the index method on S1 by providing A. So 0, 1, 2. It should return the first occurrence of A. Return true. But what I want is, I don't want the first occurrence. I want my JVM to search from here. What I can do is that second method, overloaded method. from 0 1 2 3 4 5. Guys, what I am requesting my JVM is a JVM return the index of A but search from 5th index 0 1 2 3 4 5. Search from here and return the index of the A. This is 14 because here it is present. That's how this method will work, guys. And then last index, it doesn't matter how many times A is present, it will return the last index of A, last index of A, so it should return this. Last 14. Suppose if I have something like this, then obviously it will return the index of the last A, that is 21. And guys, this toChar array method, this method change string to char array. Now I have a string here. If I want to change this to array, then what I can do is toChar array. So it will return the char array. Like this. toChar array method will change the string to character array. Next one, guys, this we saw already per character. Now we are going to see per string. Again, these two are overloaded methods. Index of, let me go back. Index of A, not only characters, you can also provide the string. So I am providing s1 dot index of am. Am is a substring. I am providing this. See guys, two. Similarly, India, software engineering. Okay guys. Now I don't want check from beginning. I want check where the am is present from 7th index. So I don't want this. I want to check from this characters onwards. So this is from 7th index. From 7th index, return where am is present. 18th, at 18th index, am is present. These two are over, guys. Next, two lowercase. This is a very simple one. It will change all the characters to lowercase. Guys, I am writing here I am capital and other letters few capital, few small. It doesn't matter whether it is small or capital. When you call dot to lowercase, it will change all the letters of the string to lowercase. See, from India. And similarly, the other method will change all letters to uppercase. two uppercase method will change all the characters to uppercase, and two lowercase will change all the characters to lowercase. Trim method, guys, this removes the beginning and ending spaces of the string. I'm from India. Okay, guys, I'm removing this. I'm giving the space here and here. I'm printing as is, and again I'm printing after calling the trim method. Guys, this trim method will remove the spaces at head and tail, at the beginning and the ending. It will not touch the spaces in between. Let me print this. See, at the end and at the start and end spaces are removed in this string. That's how the trim method will work. Trim will remove the spaces at the start and ending. Guys, this is one of the important method, that is value of is a start method. Suppose one is a string, and if you want to convert the other one as a string and to concatenate, then you can call this method. This is static method. Let us suppose, guys, I have one string searching and one way another integer I1 is equal to 12. Now what I want is I want to add this integer to string. How can I do that? Is plus string dot, this is a static method, guys. See, this has a overloaded methods, not only string, not only integer, long, object, float, double, characters, boolean, everything you can convert from other data type to string. Value of to do now a I1. So let me repeat, guys. String dot value of integer. So this value method is a static method present in string class. That's why I'm calling it class name. This will convert the other data type to string. Now this I1 I'm converting from 12 to string 12. So we can concatenate s1 plus string. So it will print such in 12. See, such in 12. But guys, I'm removing it. I'm directly keeping I1. Can you guess this output? One is an integer, another one is string. I'm not converting integer to string, right? So let me execute this program. You'll get the same output. Why? Because default from Java 5 onwards, when you call this, when you say one string and another one is another data type, it may be integer, maybe float, maybe double, then your JVM will implicitly convert the other data type into string by calling string dot value of method. From Java 5 onwards, you don't need to mention that string dot value of. You just add the integer to string. JVM will implicitly convert this integer to string and it will concatenate both. What is the other method? ends with and starts with. This is very straightforward, guys. Start with method will check whether that particular string is starting with, see, I'm mentioning here, and I'm calling ends with method as well, ends with in. Both are true because this S1 starts with yes, right? It will return true, and this is ends with in. It will return true. So if that is not the case, then it will return false. Suppose I am keeping small s, guys. Can you guess the output? Here also I am changing capital N. What S1 starts with small s will return false. Why is that? Because Java is case sensitive, guys. Remember, small s is different from capital S. Guys, let us see the string tokenizer class. This is actually old class, guys. Old class, and this will be used to split the string. Let us suppose I have a string s1 is equal to something. I am from India, and call the string tokenizer st is equal to new string tokenizer of provide the string and delimiter. Delimiter means this is the parameter. A string tokenizer take this parameter and split the string, which means this is 1 and space, this is 1 space, this is 1 space, this is 1. Just I am checking has more elements. If yes, then it will return next element. Guys, this is present in java.util package. Then you need to import this. See, I am from India, but unfortunately this is very old one, guys. Nowadays nobody is using it. String tokenizer class, we have split method in string. This is latest one. Now I will explain how to use this. Just I have string s1 is equal to I am from India, and call the split method by providing your delimiter. My delimiter here is space. Wherever you find the space, split the string. I one string, am one string, from one string, India one string. Then I am using for each loop. I am iterating through it. See, if I change the delimiter to comma, do you have comma in your string? No, guys. Let me put the comma here. Then how it will split? From this to comma, from here onwards another string. See, I am from and India is one string. This is how this split method will work. Next one, toString method, guys. This is another very important method, toString. Guys, look at this. I just define one custom defined class A, string s is equal to null. I provide one constructor here. So whatever I am passing while creating the object a1 is equal to new a, so that value will be assigned to this string s. Now I am going to create one string class object, that is string s1 is equal to new string of abc. Another one user defined object A1 is equal to new ABC. Guys, if you observe, I'm trying to create two objects very in similar way, right? But when I'm going to print SOP of S1, AOP of A1, let us see what it will print. Guys, why is this? First, S1 is printing the content of the objects, but A1 is printing the address of the object. Why is that, guys? Guys, the reason is whenever you say SOP of S1 or A1, what your JVM will understand is system.out.println of S1.toString, where this toString method is present in string class. So let me repeat it this guys, this is a really very important interview question. When you say system.out.println of S1, your JVM will read this as S1.toString, where this method is present in string class. Okay. Now when you say system.out.println of A1, again your JVM will read this as A1.toString. Did you define this toString method in class A? No. Then from where it will get? Obviously from default superclass, that is object class. This is how your JVM will read when you say system.out.println of S1, system.out.println of A1. So what? Why first one is printing the content and second one is printing the address of the object? The reason is, guys, though the method name is same, the implementations are different. This string method is present in string class. This toString method is present in object class. The way the toString method, which is present in string class, will print the content of the object whenever you are calling on the object. Let me repeat, guys. The way the toString method, which is present in string class, will behave like whenever you are calling this toString method on the object, it will print the content of the object. But whenever you are calling the toString method, it will print the address of the object. Now if you want to change, very simple, you just override this method in your class A. Now it is not going to print, guys. It's not going to. See, I am just overriding public string to string and return. Yes is what? That whatever you are passing the parameter while creating the object. Now I am going to print system.out.println of A1.toString. Now this is not going to invoke the method which is present in object class. Instead of that, it will invoke the method which is present in the same class, guys. Now obviously whatever you have written in this toString method, it will return that value when you execute. Let me run this code, guys. See, ABC. Guys, let me repeat. Whenever you are calling system.out.println of A1, your JVM will call this as system.out.println of A1.toString. In earlier case, you don't have toString method defined here, and you have toString method defined in object class. It is going to invoke the toString method in supermost class or root class, that is object class. The way this toString method which is present in object class is like whenever you are calling the toString method on the object, it will return the address of the object. But now in this case we provide our own implementation here, that's why it is returning this content of the object. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to my channel and please share the video with your friends.